It's scary with all the natural disasters and...
Oh, they're a blast, aren't they? Talk about rock and roll and the ground shaking under my feet. It's a riot.
Tell us why you like that.
Why I like it?
Yeah, why it's a blast.
Well,
Especially, and you said the same thing for the body and the
absolutely.
diseases that were in the body and what you were facing. So why did you say it's colorful and blastful and a lot of fun?
Well, you know, you take these different dynamics, okay? Such as, you know, when you're watching the ground shaking underneath your feet, okay? They call them earthquakes, and the templates are shifting and arising. They're even separating so brilliantly to allow for the waterways to go through different underground caverns that are also splitting in the waterways, opening up the caverns, because the funnest part about that is it breaks up all the other fear scenarios about, well, the waters are going to melt, the ice caps are going to melt, and they're melting and they're going to flood all the lands. Well, what's the big to do? Now we have caverns that the water's not going to go over the land. So why are we concerned about having caverns now that water's not going to flood the land? So what's the concern now? Because lands aren't going to be flooded. Okay? There's caverns opening up for the water to go in. Now, what's considered to be natural disasters aren't disasters. That's the beautiful part. The templates are shifting and arising and even creating spaciousness for the ice caps melting to allow for the flushing through of the waterways to run through, also the purification of the planetary matrix. Even with the weather patterns that are changing so brilliantly. It's not this global warming stuff, it's the conscious of humanity arising. That's also affecting the planetary matrix. Purifying itself, clearing its own decks as humanity is clearing its own decks. Dear brothers, making a full transition, coming right back in through the planetary matrix and onto the planetary matrix through the womb scenario, and others coming in as rainbow offsprings, indigo offsprings, crystalline offsprings, as the evolution of humanity is only speeding up that much faster. Even the evolvement of the DNA, the human genome itself being the evolution of that, humanity stepping through so brilliantly with even that much more of an amplification. The systems from scholastic, governmental, and the personal levels are also amplifying so brilliantly. Now we can look at the other side. The woe is, the dear one stepping off the planet. Woe is the earthquake scenarios. Woe is the tsunamis and all those that are, quote, i.e. victimized by all of it. There are no victims. There's a purification. How many of these dear ones are presented with days before these events? But dear brother, you know, you may really want to get on a boat ride to go to another place. You may really want to take a holiday. You may really want to go on vacation today. You may really not want to go into work today. Yeah, but.
That brings a lot of suffering for people.
It's not pass or fail. They may go, they may not go. All is well. But how loud are their higher levels? How loud are the voices becoming? How loud is the guidance realms becoming?
How much their heart is opening up?
Absolutely.
Our hearts is opening up.
So even when their, quote, relatives from their family monads leave the planet, how many of them right there are stopping? What's really important here? Why am I doing what I'm doing when I'm doing it? What really matters? Re-questioning. How important is my job? How important is the palace, my home? How important are the mortgages, the car payments, on and on and on? When I have these beautiful little ones, I have a canine, a feline. What am I doing here? What really matters here? What a blessed, brilliant gift these other dear brothers gave them for stepping off the planet. Once again, they're offered every opportunity to step into their fullest of divinity and take off overtime. Not to deny the homes, the work levels, the car vehicles, on and on and on, but not letting it own them.
And seeing their true, so that we can see our true nature.
Exactly. And what really calls to them so passionately. Rather than having the opposite run them, they're arising through it. You see, that's the beauty of what's happening. How many are waking up because of it? I'm not even including the ones right in the midst of it. This affects the whole planetary matrix and all the dear brothers on the planet. How many hearts are opening because this right here is taking place? Wow, how blessed I am. I didn't realize I had a puppy dog named Fluffy. Or a feline, a bride, a husband, offspring. I totally forgot about that. Until I saw this happening. How important is that I get this document done this afternoon or take skipping to the park? And that one day at the park is going to change their whole life stream. Because the communion and the heart levels are growing together again. That's the beauty of it. And from a larger overview, the magnetics, the amplification is also affecting the planetary matrices exponentially throughout this whole universe and solar system as well.
Tell us about that.
Well, as this planetary matrix is amplifying, amplifying, and amplifying, and you go to Uranus, you go to Saturn, you go to Pluto, you go to Jupiter, you go all the way through Pleiades, Orions, on and on and on, all the way to the other side of this whole universe. The magnetic alignments are also being amplified, even to the Moon, the Sun, and Mars. They're also expanding upon themselves. It's also playing with the rotator belts of this whole planetary matrix. From a magnetic pull, there's also speeding it up and also throwing off the other solar system belts to also allow for magnetic arrays to extend upon themselves and extend upon themselves and extend upon themselves. They're also opening up caverns of consciousness to allow for the Milky Way to expand upon itself, which is also opening up to 14 other universalis states from their light states or light beingness in different portals, even black holes that are also going through other portals into light beingnesses. And letting other planetary matrices and other planetary deities that have always been here that magnetically are also coming into vision, insight, but also pulling upon the planetary matrix from the lunar levels as well, that are also pulling on the cosmic lattice works as well. That's playing more so with instant manifestation, which is also removing the debris that much quicker. It brings so much up to the forefront for humanity, that humanity is left for humanity to come to arisement.
All that.
Oh, all at the same time. That's part of the fun of it.
So, where do you come from?
Well, the best way to explain that is I play with Orion. I have memories of Orion, I have memories of Pleiades, I have memories of Sirius, but I come from pure consciousness. See, when I say memories, that I'm there walking around right now just as much as I am here. See,
in different dimensions?
Absolutely.
Is that what dimensions
And
are?
I'm looking around there right now.
Oh, how is it?
Because this is the part that it's not this parallel universe thing. That's a lot of mental scientific stuff. It's even beyond your incarnational journey. So you're still there, yes, but it's dimensional, like this. You're here, you're here, you're here, but you're emanating here. And you're animating your physicality here. What you are doing is you're collapsing all these portals here. You're bringing all of your incarnational facets of you here. All of these are collapsing. It's part of why we were playing with magnetics a little bit ago, universally. All of this is collapsing, becoming condensed, dissolving, as you're fully, completely manifesting here. But also there's these other portals that are opening up from your light beingnesses. And all of these light beingness states are also dissolving, becoming translucent, and beyond translucent, very vision as well, seeing it with your physical eyes as well, but you're reclaiming all of you here, as well as watching what's going on off planet, as you're just as much off planet as you are on planet, but not from a scattered state, but from an expanded state. There's so much more to you than what seems so important with the physical toy. Okay, and because it's not as confusing as it seems. It's actually a walk in the park, but you know, you're functioning from here, from the frontal lobe, when you have all of this that's going through activations all the way through the whole physical form entirely, and you're accessing all of you. That's why you heard the big hurrah about DNA. Beyond 12 double helix strands of DNA, you're playing with 146 different strands of double helix DNA and universalis DNA that's never ending. There's so much more to play with. And also playing with here too, because we're not denying this for here. you're bringing all of this here and here.
So what's your best recommendation to activate it?
Well, when you're playing with your physical form, when you're playing with here, and then play more and more and more with connecting with your physical form, beginning to play more and more with communing and communicating with all of you. Asking your body principle, body, how's it going today, my good friend? What does your body have to ask, have to share? So right now, why don't we ask your body principle? What sort of B complex would it like?
What's a what?
B complex would it like?
I didn't understand that.
What sort of B complex would your body like?
What sort of complex?
B complex?
I don't get that.
Vitamin B?
What do I take?
No, what sort of vitamin B would your body like?
Oh, what sort of B12?
But from a B complex, what brand would it like?
I don't know.
Nature's Made.
Yeah.
It's a brand your body would like. Because it's the way that they bring together the molecules that your body's going to be able to process a lot easier. It's going to affect way down here to let your body be able to absorb it and pass it out through all the organs. Now, are we just talking to your body, or are we opening up to everything?
Everything.
Exactly. Communicating with your body principle is easy, okay? And letting your body communicate back with you. You're beginning to question it and letting it answer. Okay, now, let's start to play with the wood. Okay? What sort of polish would it like? Old English, luminescent, because it goes right into the grains. It doesn't want the other stuff. And that just shared it with you. And then you can ask it, where does it come from?
Yeah.
To show you where it once stood in the forest. Okay? And it'll show you so much about itself. Okay? And see, it's going to share with you more and more. Now, you're playing with here and you're playing with here.
Yeah.
Okay? Then we get to go outside. And we get to play with all the other elements. But beyond just the body and the wood and all kinds of fun things, what we're doing is starting to play with you more and more and more. Okay? But we're letting you become to the forefront. Not just the mind, but all of you emanating exponentially and letting all the data start to come in from the exponential. From you, through you, but also outside as well. See, now we're playing with all that is. All the way through the manifest world as well. But then we have everything around you opening and opening, and the manifest world coming in and coming in to speed up and speed up. And we're beginning to dance with everything. The body's consciousness, not becoming body conscious, that becomes like that again. We're playing with the dance of being able to expand and receive, and the giving and the receiving becomes constant. But not how humanity deems giving and receiving. It's so much more beyond the giving and receiving. It's natural. And it's already you. But watch how your outside world begins to metamorphosize. So brilliantly, so much further. But also the opportunities to continue to come forth so much more beautiful and further. Not filtering, not scanning, not belief systems, because belief systems are very small, but you're bringing all of you into this world entirely. And then beginning to have dialogue and chit-chat with your big guns.
So it feels also it's a matter of really reopening our heart to ourselves.
To yourself.
That's something that's been missing.
In all of you.
Yeah, in all of us.
All of you, because you're the one that's asking the questions. All of you is asking the questions to all of you. You're creating a dialogue with all of you again. Can you reconnect with all of you again? And have a lot more playtime with all of you, and not all the stuff that seems so serious anymore. It's kind of like taking your conscious right now, right to the middle of Japan, underneath the templates of the planet.
Yeah.
You have the ability to. You have the ability even to support the planetary matrix underneath it. You can go anywhere and everywhere. You're never leaving the body. You're expanding from the body. But everything's dancing together. But that's when the mind becomes your friend. Beliefs start to no longer exist anymore.
That would be so cool.
But it's already you.
It's already, yeah.
And you're unwriting what has been. And you're embodying all of you. And there's so much more to play with, even through the human genome that you're playing with. Unwriting it and letting it rewrite in your image, rather than just a human blueprint from a mammalian species. Because we're bypassing the human blueprint and we're letting it rewrite it as you. Genetics dissolve and change. DNA dissolve and amplify. No end. Even the physical mobilities change.
So miracles happen every day.
And you become the miracle.
And we become the miracle.
See, that's the beauty. You've already been that. Now you're becoming all of that.
Beautiful. So what would you say is your purpose?
I have many of them. But the first one is to play with all of humanity, no matter where they're at, where they're going about their own journey, getting to assist and play overtime. And going right into organs, rebuilding organs, going into your life stream, reopening life streams and opening up different unfoldments, all the way into playing with your Akashic record realms, dissolving genetics, DNA, reconnecting you from a marriage of the higher to the lower, to all of you, and on and on and on. But first and foremost, being a bringing husband to my bride, my angel love.
That's a beautiful story right there.
But there's no end to what I can and do play with. All the way to playing with businesses. It goes everywhere. But it goes back to all of humanity.
Yeah. So clearing our Akashic records is part of it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And we can do that ourselves?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh.
There's so much. I mean, that's where there's no end to all you can play with. You see,
So past, present, future, all of that.
All of it, from first separation to now. All of it entirely. I mean, you have so much accessible, beautiful.
Can you read those right now?
Uh-huh.
Is it appropriate to share this on camera?
Sure.
Let's do that. Let's do this. Let's see how, yeah. Let's read the Akashic records.
Well, what would you like to know, sweetheart?
I don't know.
Well, you've been in the middle of Peru, okay, inside of a little grassy hut, playing with 4 offspring, with a bride, also providing for the villages, also teaching them how to create fire but not harming one another. Also, you've been a tribal leader in the center of Africa, Nairobi actually. You've also been more of leading them into their dances, and then all the way going over to Israel with the funny black outfits that you would wear. You've been very much a leader there. It's part of what all of these journeys have been, the passion of what you're running with right now. You've also been very much of a villager that's been taken not so much by your will and taken through the waters and assisted from the planet on that one when you were taken through the Catholic periods and sentenced after being somewhat mistreated, oddly, and sentenced to leave the planet on that one. And then mourning the husband level that went off to war from Henry the Great, number 3. And then attempting to remove that your brother from the planet and not quite making it all the way to their bedside. And then all the vows, contracts, and agreements that you have taken on about Creator Essence is part of why you keep trying for abundance, and this hasn't been working very well. Because the vows of celibacy, the vows of poverty, and the necessity to be alone has been carried with you. These are different vows, contracts, and agreements that have been lingering with you. If you go right into the lower lobe of your right lung, when I go right into them, these are different tissues that have been affected, but also from your soul level, from your Akashic record realms right now. There are levels that have been very predominant upon this journey as well. That's why so often it somewhat feels like a land of misfits that you walk through, because there's not any place that's really safe to fully put your head. Okay? So would you like for me to remove them?
Yes, please.
I bind all vows, contracts, and agreements up, out, and away from this dear brother's mind, body, and aura now. And I also bind all entities, energies, and thought forms up, out, and away from this dear brother's mind, body, and aura now. From all 4 levels, all dimensions, over cell, over body, all memory of it now. And I bind you to the sun to be repolarized for the good of all humanity, never to return. And I welcome her in through her body now for her highest and best good, within all levels, all dimensions, within every particle of her life stream now. And I command the armor away from her lower legs and from the rest of her torso now. And her job for integrity is no longer her purpose. I command is gone now. And that she can breathe and relax and be able to enjoy creation for her highest best good. And so it is.
Thank you.
Perfect. Wasn't that fun?
Yes. So that is part of this clearing that happens to then serve the greatest purpose, and while we're here, so I can be of more
assistance and playtime, but not sacrifice. Yeah. That's the part I was addressing, was the sacrificial part. Because that doesn't feel good.
That doesn't. No, and I think we all have in our heart so much desire to help and assist the planet right now that we need this assistance in removing those barriers.
But not when it comes to sacrifice, though.
Yeah.
Sacrificing, like even when I would go into the fields with you and you give yourself for the many, it still wasn't assisting them. I mean, even though you meant well, it wasn't assisting brother humanity to arise. Because you're assisting them side by side. Rather than giving of oneself and watching others arise temporarily and then go back down. You're giving with them, with yourself, to watch everyone arise with you. Now you're coming in, bring it on, let's flourish together.
Yes.
That's the brilliance of it. Okay?
Beautiful.
Well, that was fun.
Thank you. Thank you so much, William.
Oh, you too, beautiful.
Amazing conversation.
It's such a blast.
It is a blast. Okay, much juiciness here on this planet. Much love, my beautiful co-creators.
Bye.
Bye.